out there right now that want to know, what are the how do I defeat the enemies of business and life? And so we got to get through this because we don't have much time when we're talking about it. So we got to get through it. So we already went over rejection, right? We already know rejection is one of the mental enemies of life, right? Now we want to, and we talked about deception, right? And we were talking about how people are just going to lie to you, all right? You have to be willing to accept that, right? You have to be willing to accept that, and they're going to lie to you, because of their regency bias that they have, right? And look, with deception, understand you cannot develop wisdom without disappointments, because when people lie to you, it's disappointing, right? It's disappointing to all of us. We understand that it's disappointing. People are going to lie to you, right? And it's disappointing when you find out that those people lied to you. But guess what? Just understand. If you understand the fact that, well, people are going to lie, right? That's going to help you develop some wisdom. You can learn from that lie. You don't like the lie, but you can learn from that lie, right? Understand, no weapon formed against you is going to prosper. That's how you overcome deception. You have to put a stake in your mindset that no weapon formed against you is going to prosper. You're more than a conqueror. Some of you probably heard that before in some shape, form, or fashion, right? But you're more than a conqueror, because you understand that what they say about a deception today, right? Little white lies, it was a little one. I really didn't hurt anybody. Well, a lie is a lie, right? Now, I lie for the benefit of everybody. Okay, that's fine, but a lie is a lie. But when we're talking about deception and lying in business and life, you got to understand that that's going to take place, right? It just understand that takes place. If you understand that takes place, then you overcome it. I mean, I've been in situations, oh my gosh, where we have put so much into people, so much in our business based on, getting ready to sign a client or getting ready to bring on, a financial advisor or insurance agents underneath the LOEP agency as an operative. And I mean, we go through all the paperwork. We know we have done all, we would do the background checks. We would do, we would get the contracts together. We would get everything. We would put all this time into it. And when we submit it, another one of the mental enemies is I'm gonna talk about it, but well, I don't think I want to do this, right? And then you're thinking to yourself, right? If you're me, you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, when did this come about? You could have told me about this 10 minutes ago or 10 days ago before we put all this effort and work into you, right? But that's what happened. See, and I understand, because I learned that it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with TMTSI, Mrs. Dr. Nodezov and myself's company, right? Or the LOEP agency, right? Nothing to do with the insurance industry, nothing to do with our leadership and development and coaching industry. It had everything to do with them, right? And deception is nothing but a distraction. That's all it is. It's just a distraction. It's designed to be a distraction. Actually, all these mental enemies are designed to be a distraction. But deception is definitely a distraction. It was meant to distract you. It's meant to distract you, right? And their regency bias is basically, is what it's about. It's about their regency bias. It's about them not believing in themselves. It's about them, not understanding that you're sent there to help them. This is something that they've been hoping for, right? This is something that they've been dreaming about, right? Or this might be something that, well, this is not the way I saw it, but they don't understand that this might be the way it helps them. Remember, it's regency bias. It's their regency bias. It's their habit of believing their future will be much more like their recent past. If they've failed in the past, then they feel like they're going to fail before. So guess what? They lie about it. Okay. So, what did we take from these these two big mental enemies so far, right? What did we take from them? That what, people gonna lie to you, right? That people gonna reject you, because they fall hand in hand with each other, right? They fall hand in hand with each other. People lie, and people gonna reject you. Okay, so as a leader, or as a self leader, because some of you might not be leaders of people, might not be leaders of people in a business or an organization or something, but you might be leaders in your life, right? Or you just might be leaders of yourself. Okay, that happens, right? So understand that these two mental enemies are strong. These two mental enemies will come after you, right? And they're meant to sabotage the success of your life. That's why it's important that you defeat these mental enemies. And you're not going to have to defeat them only one time. You're going to have to do it more than once, right? You're going to have to do it, several times. You might do it every day. You might have to do it, once a year, twice a year, once every 5 years. Who knows? But I will say this to you. One of the things that we work on doing, and one of the things that we always coach people on, is having perfect practice. Right? You're not going to be perfect, so we work on having perfect practice. So what is perfect practice? Perfect practice is actually getting into the habit of practicing to overcome these mental enemies on a consistent basis. So if you practice enough, what happens? It becomes second nature. It becomes a habit. It becomes habit forming when you practice enough. And then so when you're rejected, you shrug it off, because you understand that if you don't shrug it off, it's going to stunt your growth and whatever in your dreams and your goals. It's going to freeze you in your tracks, right? Or when that person, like I said before, I got so many stories on deception. I got stories of deception from people that was above me, when I work with organizations, and people that was above me would sit there and how the old saying goes, they lie straight to your face, right? And same thing from people below me, and the deception can be big. But if you do perfect practice, then you can actually deter rejection. You can deter deception to a certain extent, right? But then you understand that, hey, this is going to happen to me. You don't like it. I didn't say you have to like these things. I just said, it's perfect practice to be habit forming, right? What is another mental enemy of success, right? Another mental enemy of success in business and in life is attrition, right? What's attrition? People are going to quit on you. It happens. People quit on you. You say, what? People quit on you. People are going to quit on you. That doesn't mean you have to quit on yourself. It just means people are going to quit on you, right? So who are those people? Anybody. So if you have a business right now, right? You're running a business. You have employees. How many of y'all that are business owners out there have had employees that quit on them? Right? They quit. How many of y'all out there in business that had a business, you start off with a business partner, but then they end up quitting on you? Right? Or how many of y'all out there that have had, been in relationships, people quit on you? Now, one of the things that hurts the most when people quit on you, one of the things that hurts the most that I've seen in so many different ways and so many different, avenues, is that people would quit on you in your personal life, but then you don't understand that they quitting on you. That's because they quit on you doesn't mean you have to quit on yourself, right? One of the things that I, in reaching my dreams and goals is understanding that, everybody is not going to see my dreams and goals the way I see it. Everybody's not going to be able to run my race. Everybody's not going to be able to take my journey, go on my pilgrimage of my dreams and goals, right? Not everybody's going to be able to do that. So, or nobody, you know, and there's going to be people that's going to drop, people that's going to start off with me, then quit. But there's going to be people that won't start with me at all, right? Then there's going to be people that will start off with me, go for a little bit, then quit, right? Then there's going to be some people that will travel a little further than other people. So I'm at the halfway point and then quit. There are some people that's going to travel with me all the way, and it seems like and the finish line is in eyesight. I mean, we're 10 feet away, and they'll quit, right? And you're probably asking yourself, well, why is that, right? Why do people quit? Well, that's what people do, right? They quit. So, you know, and working to determine, well, why do people quit? Right? It's something that is not within your power. Just understand people quit. And there's different reasons why people quit, right? But this is a mental enemy on you, because you sit there and you look, oh, that was my best employee. Oh man, I thought this business partner was going to be with me forever. You know, I would not believe that my own mother would quit on me. My own father would quit on me. My sister, my brother, my cousin, my uncle, my niece, my favorite relative would quit on me. I can't believe that, right? Well, when you have that mindset, when you have that stake in your mindset that you can't believe that people will do it, then that is how the enemies of success grow, and they germinate in your mind because you planted that. Okay, you planted it. And then what happens is it grows like weed. It grows like weeds. It grows everywhere. And if you allow it to germinate and you water it, right, what's going to happen? It's going to grow like weeds. Then what happens is it starts filtering into other areas of your life. And then when somebody quit on you, if you're over an organization and somebody quit on you, then it's going to hurt your feelings, or it's going to mess up your productivity, because you have not developed the habit of overcoming attrition. You know, I remember one time I worked for this organization and we were building locations for them. And I went into this new location, brand new, and we was hiring all these employees, and everybody was excited, right? And everybody was excited. I'm not gonna mention the organization on here, but everybody was excited. I mean, it was, you're talking about over 200 people that was hired to work for this organization in this new location. And you know, I was in charge of operations and management. I was managing operations and training and things of that nature. But anyway, I had about 75 out of those couple hundred people. I had about 75 that worked directly with me, and then on other occasions, every one of those employees worked directly, for me in a way. But when I had my team, I was developing my operations team, and it was a good amount of people, right? You talk, like, say, about 75 people. And I remember one of my first meetings, right? And I told them, I said, I want y'all to look around, look at each other. Everybody's smiling, everybody's happy, right? Everybody got a new job, you're excited to learn, you're excited this and that. And I said, understand, the people standing with you today won't be here 1 year from now. A lot of you won't be here 1 year from now. And they looked at me and they're like, no, I was like, I'm just letting you know, right? And what I was letting them know was attrition. People quit. And 1 year later, I never forget, out of those 75 something people, I think maybe 2 to 3 people were still remaining. And it wasn't based off my bad leadership or management. Is why people quit. No, all right. It was many different reasons, right? I had to get over that, because I just think, oh, maybe I'm just a terrible leader. No, it's not me. It was them, right? I understand that. So, and I was talking to those 2 or 3 people, and I said, remember my first meeting, what I said? and they thought about it and they're like, oh my gosh, you did say that. How did you know? Well, I knew, ladies and gentlemen, because of attrition, right? It's part of business. It's part of life. That's how come I knew, right? It's a mental enemy. But then they were like, well, you don't seem upset about it. No, I'm not. It's no reflection on me, because if it was a reflection on me, then none of y'all would be here, right? You three are still here. Why are you three still here? Matter of fact, you three are still here, and you three are probably the most loyal and trusted employees I have as far as for the operation team, and you're the backbone, and because you train the new ones coming in, don't you? Right. Well, who trained you? They're like, well, you did. Well, then it's not me. And if I train you and you're training the new people, and these new people are getting trained and they're learning how to do their jobs, then guess what? I am providing the management and leadership that is necessary, right, to keep the operations going. And we had the operations team was one of the best teams in that location. So as a leader, as a self-leader, I knew the attrition had nothing to do with me, had everything to do with those individuals. See, ladies and gentlemen, you want to defeat the mental enemy of attrition? It has nothing to do with you. 9 times out of 10 has nothing to do with you. If you know your leadership is on point, and when you know what I mean by knowing, okay? Don't act like you know. No, you know it's on point, right? Because you're developing yourself, in yourself leadership and everything. So understand, when you're to overcome this attrition, you cannot be afraid to go out there and build your network, right? Building solid relationships is crucial. So you cannot be afraid to go out there and build your network, right? You got to find a group of like-minded people who can help hold you accountable for reaching your goals and your dreams. That's the only way well, not the only way, but one of the main ways to deal with attrition. Go get around a group of like-minded people. And what I mean by like-minded people, right? People like you. See, I'll be honest, Dr. Nowadays, I'll have a difficult time getting around like-minded people because I'm so focused on reaching my dreams and goals, right? I have a positive psychology built up inside of me. I've been working on it for years. There are people that start off being like-minded like me, but then they end up falling off, right? I'm the CEO of me, so I got to hire and fire people in my mastermind group. And I do that. I hire and fire people in my mastermind group. I might hire you in and love you. But then after a week or two, there's some things that I have to, that I have to come make that hard decision. Well, I don't believe in hard decisions. I have to come make that challenging decision and fire you out of my mastermind group, which means that I'm not going to be around you. I don't want to be around you anymore because, there's something that was revealed, right? Because you was deceiving in the beginning. Remember, mental enemy, right? So what is that last mental enemy? And after I reveal this last mental enemy, I'm going to talk about 2 things that actually will help you completely understand and help you completely overcome these, right? Now, also, if you want more details, then of course you can always go and you can schedule a coaching with myself, and Mrs. Dr. Nowadays, the dynamic duo, because that's when we get more detail and we're able to hone in. Because when you planted those seeds and they grew like weeds and they didn't grow like fruit or like the plants that can yield great rewards, but then you grew weeds that are just troubling, right, and get in the way, then you have to go in, and anybody that has done gardening understand that it takes work to remove weeds. It takes work consistently, right? You got to work consistently to remove weeds, right? Because they're going to come back, right? And it might take you several times before they're completely gone, right? So we help you build that positive psychology in our coaching sessions. But anyways, let's go to that last one, right? And it's one, and these are not the only ones, but these are the major ones, right? What is the last one? It's apathy, right? What is apathy? Apathy means people will disappear, right? They join what we call the Witness Protection Program, okay, WPP. And this was so funny when I remember Mrs. Dr. Nodays off myself was building our marketing organizations. We would have, oh my gosh, the apathy was amazing. At first it'll mess you up because you really think like, what in the world happened to these people, right? They disappear off the planet. You know, you call them, the phone don't ring, you know, or the phone number don't even work anymore, or you know, you know where they live. You might go over there and just to see them, but then they never there, right? It's like they disappear. It's like literally like they joined the witness protection program, like they never existed. Okay, and you sitting in your mind like, I know, okay, what in the world? You know, they were excited to be a part of our organization. They were excited to be a part of the company. They were excited to start learning, start working. And then what happened, right? Ladies and gentlemen, apathy happens because they have no passion, right? They have no passion. And so there's nothing that motivates them to get up out of the morning and, you know, get up in the morning or get past those other three mental enemies. See, because what happened normally with apathy is they hit those other mental enemies. Those other mental enemies came in and beat them up, right? They beat them up, right? They jumped them. All three of them jumped that person at the same time. So guess what? Right? They joined the witness protection program, so because they don't want to get jumped by those other three mental enemies. They disappear. People disappear, right? Because listen, people disappear because they have what's called regret avoidance, right? And some of you have heard my other probably podcasts or my other trainings. You've heard me talk about regret avoidance before, right? What is regret avoidance? Regret avoidance, it leads you to follow the crowd. See, and there's a reason for it, because if things turn out badly, then guess what happened? You feel much better knowing that you did what everybody else thought was smarter rather than what's opposite. So when it comes to apathy and people join the witness protection program, see, what happened when we built our marketing organization is we would tell anybody who joined our marketing organization, right? Okay, listen, we know you're excited. We know you everything, but we have a system. And we want to put you in our training system, our LTS, and we still have it. We still have our leadership training system, right? It's called LTS, leadership training system. We want to put you in this system because this is going to help you sustain your business, sustain your new business and your new journey in entrepreneurship, right? So this is what we're going to ask you not to do, even though we knew they were going to do it. But we're going to ask you not to do these things. We're going to ask you not to go out there and just start vomiting at the mouth, telling everybody everything. We want to train you because there's a certain way to do it. If not, you're going to burn what we used to call your target market, or burn your warm market, right? And lo and behold, my gosh, so many people go out there and burn that market up in one day, 1 hour, and then we call them up, you never hear from them again, right? And as leaders, we knew what took place, right? Those mental enemies got them. Mental enemies got them. So, and they listen to people who have regret avoidance. See, there's a lot of people that will follow the crowd. They would never leave the pack, right? Because, like I said, if things turn out badly, they feel better knowing that there's other people, you know, that are in this pack. So if they stay with the pack, then they know that they did what everybody else thought was smarter, right? Rather than what was opposite. So you have to understand, you know, that happens when it comes when it comes to apathy, right? They join the witness protection program. All right, so we only got a couple minutes left in this in this session, and let's talk about how to understand completely defeating the mental enemies, you know, of success, or the enemies of success. First off, ladies and gentlemen, everything we talked about when it comes to those enemies, and what they all deal with is one word: fear, right? It all deals with fear. They all deal with fear. And what happens, fear of failure stops forward progress. And that's what a lot of people do not get. Your fear of failure stops forward progress. And people always tell me, well, you know, if you know the history of Dr. No Days Off, if you know the history of our company, TMTSI, or the LOP agency, right? There's some of you out there that might know our history. And you would say, well, they failed. You know, him and Mrs. Dr. No Days Off, they failed. And we'll look at them and tell you, no, we didn't fail. We didn't fail because we have already moved forward in our progress, right? We learned along the way. See, fear is either false evidence appearing real, or it's face everything and run. See, to me, it's both. It's false evidence appearing real, and it's face everything and run. You got to understand something. When you're facing everything and you're running, okay, you know, when you're facing everything and you're running, then, you know, what good is that doing you? No good at all, right? So what do? See, when you face everything and run, you build mental doors that allow you to escape back into the land of familiar. See, you put a mental door up in your mindset to say, if this don't work, right? If this don't work, then I gotta escape, you know, escape route. I got an escape door. Remember what I said? Fear can mean what? False evidence appearing real, or face everything and run. But fear can also mean something else. Fear can also mean face everything and rise. This is what you should understand about fear. First of all, it's false evidence. It ain't real. Second, if I do face it and rise, see, when you face everything and rise, you build fences to look over and see the land of familiar where you do not want to go back to. So you fight. It's different from building a door. You build a fence, because that fence is behind you. You can turn around and look and say, yeah, I don't want to go back there. But there's no door, right? Or you look through the fence because the fence is tall. You don't want to climb it. See, that's face everything and rise. See, face everything and rise is when you build those mental doors to, you know, those escape doors, right? So you can use the fear to develop your genuine courage. That's what you can do. You know, to overcome the mental enemies, you got to choose to act with courage instead of fear. Now, how do you act with courage? Well, you act with courage. See, fear is that what? That 4-letter word, there's 5-letter F word, right? It's called faith. A lot of people talk about it, but they don't be about it, right? A lot of people talk about faith. You know, one of the greats, one of my mental mentors, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. You know, everybody, you want to plan out everything. You want to make sure it's perfect before you take a move. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a badly executed plan is well better than a very smart laid out, you know, plan. Because if you're executing the plan and it's not working out, but you're executing, you're moving forward. But if you just laid out the plan, you're sitting there staring at it like, oh, and you marvel at, oh my God, this is just a great plan, but you haven't taken any action. You haven't taken a single bit of action because you marvel at how great this plan is. That's because, you know what, you don't want to take action, there's no faith. People talk about faith. Oh my gosh, you talk about faith. And those of y'all that know Dr. No Days Off, you know, he keeps it real, he keeps it 100. He's not going to blow smoke at you. He's going to tell you how it is. No, you don't have it. I do have faith. No, you don't. And they're like, well, I do have faith. You know, I believe in my God. I said, okay, I didn't doubt anything about your faith in your God. I'm talking about faith in you. The person you see in the mirror every day. That's who you have to have faith in. Do you have faith in that person? Because if you have faith, if you have true faith, right, in that person, then you are that's the starting point of overcoming those enemies of success. See, faith is the head chemist of the mind, right? It's a positive state of mind that you develop at will. You have to develop it. It is the starting point of the accumulation of your knowledge, right? It's the known antidote for failure. It's faith. You know, it's one of the things of being a disabled combat veteran, you know, and talking to other veterans and seeing some stories of true heroes and stuff, you know. A lot of people say, well, I couldn't, you know, like the firefighters, police officers, you know, military, you know, all this stuff. And people are like, well, I couldn't run into a burning building. And they ask firefighters, why do you do that? And I say, well, that's my job. I'm trained to do that, right? And they're like, yeah, but I understand, but why'd you do that? And the firefighters sitting there looking at them, and they say, well, that's my job. I'm trained to do that. That's what I do. See, what you don't realize, ladies and gentlemen, is they have faith in their training. They have faith in their knowledge of how to overcome fires, right? Soldiers, they have faith in their abilities to accomplish their jobs. Same way with police officers, they have faith. You know, while everybody else is running away from the shooting, they're running towards the shooting. Yeah. Is it in their mind? Do they have the fear saying, oh my God, I can get shot? Yeah. But guess what? The faith is more, right? There's more faith inside of them than there is fear. Faith is a positive state of mind that you induce or you create by affirmations, right? And so what I'm going to do, because we got about, so we're going to schedule this out to 1 p.m. So we're going to stay within our schedule. I'm gonna finish you off with an affirmation that you can use, right, to help you defeat those enemies of success. Now, this is not the tell-all on how to do it. This is just giving you some little nuggets on how to do it. You know, I put the seed in your hand. You still got to go plant the seed. You still got to go grow and germinate this information, right? So you grow, you germinate the information, because how do you do that? Well, you know, one of the ways is you get a mentor that understands this information that can help you grow and germinate. Of course, you can always schedule coaching with Dr. No Days Off and Mrs. Dr. No Days Off, the dynamic duo, right? Because we have coached so many people over the years. We have had success in dealing with these mental enemies of success and dealing with these enemies of success. We have had success in overcoming them. And we have had success in coaching other people to overcome them and become leaders. We've had people start their own companies, right? As a result of us showing them, coaching them on how to being that executive coach, on how to develop that positive psychology and defeating the enemies of success, right? But here's an affirmation that you can use, right? And if you want to learn, if you want to know more about our coaching sessions, you can always go to our company website, right? If you're on LinkedIn Live, you can click on my my profile. You see our company and everything in there. You can Google company, you'll find the website. Is very easy. If you're on the Wisdom app, you can click on my profile thing and you can go to my company website. You'll find it very easily, and you can learn more about our coaching and our coaching, you know, services and sessions and stuff. So, but here's an affirmation that I've used before to help you to overcome these enemies of success, right? And this affirmation is not the only affirmation to have, but it is an affirmation to use. Remember, it could be in your toolbox. I want you to understand, you put this in your toolbox. And when you put it in your toolbox, there's something that you use, one of the tools you use to build your positive psychology. And so, you work on that, okay? Let's see here. I'm trying to look for something here before I do that, before I give you this affirmation, and I don't see it. You have to forgive me here for a moment. Let's see if we can find it here. I'm looking if I can see something here and I don't see it. So I don't see it right now. So, but anyways, okay, so let's keep going. Let's keep moving. So in this affirmation, I want you to take a listen to this affirmation, okay? This affirmation goes is you talking to you talking to yourself in the mirror or whatever, right? In the bathroom, right? In your car, whatever. But you need to talk to yourself and you need to repeat this to yourself until you have perfect practice with it. I should strive to learn and grow every day because when I stop growing is when I stop learning, right? When I stop growing, I stop living. I'm created for more than just average. Today is a new day and there are new heights for me to climb. Pursue what I love and keep developing that area of my life. Take a class, find a mentor that will help me live skillfully. As I do, I'll rise higher and higher. I will stand before leaders and live the blessed life the universe has in store for me. I should consistently grow and sharpen my skills. Do not be terrified by adversity, right? Uh, Listen, Dr. No Days Off, this is what I do, ladies and gentlemen. You know, this is, I don't take a day off in helping people develop these affirmations, these strategies, these tactics, you know, and putting together a positive psychology for the rest of their lives. We're inundated with so much negativity that feeds into these enemies of success. There's so much of it that feeds into it, right? And you cannot stop it. You won't stop it. That's just the way this world works. What you must understand is, okay, I cannot stop it, but I can deter it from being an enemy in my life or in my business. That's how you defeat it. Because what's going to happen, these mental enemies are not going to mess with you as much. They're going to go mess with other people that it's a lot easier to deal with. Oh, they'll come back to you every once in a while because they're going to test you, right? But overall, see, they'll hit you right up now, right? They're going to come full force at you. But when you have that positive psychology and you develop that and you're working on it and you're practicing perfectly, right? What happens is these enemies get tired. And so they won't come after you as much because they already know that you have the formula to defeat them. So guess what? They're going to go and they're going to go to somebody else that doesn't have that positive psychology built up. And that's how, you you start developing more success in your business and in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. No Days Off, right? And I'm one half of the dynamic duo. I'm not the better half of the dynamic duo. I'm just one half of the dynamic duo, right? But Mrs. Dr. No Days Off. And I want to thank you for coming on and listening to Defeating the Enemies of Success. You can always find us on social media platforms. We're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Wisdom, right? Of course, here on LinkedIn Live. And we will be having more of these sessions, ladies and gentlemen. Just stay tuned. Definitely go, you can visit our company website at tmtservicesintl.com. It's tmtserviceinternational.com. You can find out what we do, right? What our company does, and how we're involved with life and health, in that life and health insurance industry with our team, the League of Extraordinary People Agency, and how we work to help develop people on two fronts, right? And there's going to be a third front coming here real soon, because Mrs. Dr. No Days Off is working on a project. I'm not going to reveal it. I'm going to let her reveal it, but definitely stay tuned in on that. But I want to thank you for being a part of this inaugural session. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have more topics like this, better topics, not better than this one, but we're going to have topics like this that are really good to discuss. So definitely you want to stay linked up with me, Dr. No Days Off, on LinkedIn and my other social media platforms. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you. I'm Dr. No Days Off, and we're out of here. Have a great day.